earlier had the chance to catch up with Marquise Brown, the very talented wide receiver out of Oklahoma, Antonio Brown's cousin. There's a chance he could go in the first round. He certainly, along with DK Metcalf, who we talked to yesterday, could be the top wide receiver taken in the draft. Really nice dude, really talented dude. I enjoyed the conversation. I think you will too. Here it is. Marquise, thanks for making time. Thanks to Old Spice for making you available. How's your couple days? You're getting there. How you feeling in the lead up to the big moment?
Feeling good, like you said, thanks to Old Spice for having me. They've been doing great, getting me, ready, getting me fresh for the draft. Got that moisturizer shea butter, so, it got me keeping me clean. You can pick it up at Target.
Love that, man. My wife picked some at Target the other day, and I used it this morning. I knew we were talking, and it's working for me. So you're Hollywood. Your nickname's Hollywood. A lot of people are from Hollywood, Florida. Is the nickname about where you're from? Is it about something more? Give us the origin story there.
This is basically about, where I'm from, and got it from Gus Johnson. We talk on the phone. He's just someone I look up to, and Hollywood is like, I'm just a symbol for my community, and it's a lot of people that live through me, and I'm just trying to make everybody proud.
Yeah, I love your story. I love your journey. No Division I scholarship coming out of high school. You moved from Florida to where I'm at, basically Los Angeles. You have to work at, Six Flags Magic Mountains, right, in order to pay for that, because no scholarships at community college. And here you are getting ready to hear your name called probably very early in this draft and begin hopefully a very successful NFL career. How did you get here?
Man, just, credit to God first and foremost, but just, hard work, determination, just never giving up. I had a good support system. My mom was always, pushing me, and just, I'm just credit to everybody that was a part of my journey.
I've never been to Magic Mountain, but I've driven by it many times with my kids screaming out the window that they want to go there. Was there a point when you were working there, a point at all in your journey where you started to have doubts about your football career and how it was going to end?
Probably before I got there. But once I was there, and once, because my first semester there, a lot of college coaches came to, watch guys that were already there. And, I kind of, came out of nowhere and caught the eye. So I knew that once I got on the field, I was going to get an opportunity to showcase what I could do.
I love it. I mean, it's the American dream, and it's really cool. And obviously, and I'm sure you've been asked about this a lot this week, you've got a cousin who knows a thing or two about the NFL, about playing wide receiver in the National Football League. Any advice, Marquise, from Antonio Brown on just how to go about this process and try to make the most of it?
Yeah, he's just told me, it goes by very fast. So just try to enjoy everything. And that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying, all these, meeting all these players, meeting all these coaches, all these companies, just enjoying it, soaking it all in, man.
All right, so I know that you will be happy wherever you go, whatever team drafts you. But your cousin, right, he's been around for a while. He's earned the right to be boisterous and candid when he wants to be. Has he talked to you at all about, what it might be like if both of the Brown cousins were doing their thing for the Raiders?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it when he was at the Steelers, just having the opportunity to play with each other. That'd be crazy. A lot of fun, a lot of competition. That would be crazy if that happens.
We've talked to a few guys this week about this fact. It's a very long process getting ready for the NFL draft. You're in training the entire time. You're talking to media folks like me, which we really appreciate. You're working with Old Spice. You're doing interviews. You're going to the combine. You've got pro days. I've heard it feels like a never-ending whirl of things to do. For you, what has been the most surprising part of this process?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my process is different from everybody because of my injury. So for me, this process it's been about just getting healthy and getting right. So I haven't time. This hasn't really hit me yet, per se. It hasn't really hit me. But, it's just been a fun process. I say that, and I've just been enjoying it.
You're projected to go pretty high, but the injury you referenced, I'm sure it's been a concern for some GMs. What has the message been as you talk with folks who might draft you, just about how you're feeling physically?
That was early on. It probably was a concern, but since then, I met with all the team doctors. They know, I'm good. I'm gonna be back to full health, and it's just been about taking the right steps, doing the right things, and they just making sure, I don't come back too early, and I'm just taking my time.
Marquise, I'm probably twice as old as you because I'm an old man, and I'm still uncomfortable in job interviews having to sell myself. But obviously, that's part of the process. What has been your pitch? What has been your perspective about why you should be the top wide receiver taken in the 2019 NFL Draft?
Lucky for me, I haven't really had to sell myself, but I had to just reaffirm, that everything that they were saying was correct about me. Teams, they've been telling me, how I can come help their offense, and I'm just, reaffirming them like, yeah, I can, I can bring this to your offense. I can, bring this explosiveness, this will to win, a guy that's gonna come to work every day.
So we've been doing interviews with guys like yourself for a few years now, working with Old Spice, a lot of guys who've been drafted pretty high in the draft. And we've gotten different answers over the years in terms of some guys are sleeping like babies in the days leading up to the draft. Some guys can't sleep at all. What's for you, what are those moments like when you're by yourself and your brain starts to rest and you start to take it all in?
When I'm resting, I'm probably sleeping, yeah. I'm by myself. I'm playing video games. I'm still, it's still a normal life. Like after you get drafted, like you're on the NFL team and this is real. You got no time to, say, oh, I made it or something like that. So you're here now. You're basically an NFL player. You're just a free agent right now. So I'm just living my life, how I've been living.
What's mine wasn't very interesting. The first thing I bought when I got a job was a cell phone because, as I mentioned, I'm an old man. What's the first thing you want to buy yourself or someone else when you know where you're going and that first NFL check rolls in?
For sure, my mom, a house, and take care of her.
I love that. That's awesome. All right, one last question for you. Gotta ask. We got it, Marquise. It's a rule. We gotta ask one hard question on the interview. Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray. Both of those guys are amazing at what they do, but if you could pick one guy throwing the football to you, at least at the college level, who would you point toward?
I don't know, man. I can't. I didn't tell them the other teams. It's hard to choose. They're both great quarterbacks. I got to play with Baker my first year, so I wish I was able to play with him, another year. But, they're both great quarterbacks. I love both those guys.
Obviously, Baker already successful. Sounds like teams have asked you a little bit. What do you think? What do you think the ceiling is for Kyler at the NFL level?
I think Kyler can be as good as he want to be, and I feel like he's gonna change the game, and I feel he should be the number one overall pick for sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
Marquise, it's really great talking to you. Your story is really cool, from Hollywood, Florida, to out here in Los Angeles at a community college and working at Six Flags, to Oklahoma, and soon to an NFL team somewhere in this country. Congratulations. Enjoy the ride, and we'll be rooting for you. Thanks to you, and thanks to Old Spice for making some time for us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.